Hey, thanks for joining us. And the purpose of our press conference today is to launch Green Up Day. Before I do, I just want to say that I joined millions and millions of people around the globe glued to the television last night as President Obama made the extraordinary announcement that we had finally taken care of bin Laden. And all I can say is I am extraordinarily proud of President Obama, of our Navy SEALs, and of the Vermont servicemen and women who have sacrificed their lives for our safety over the last several years in pursuit of the war on terror. It's a great moment for America. It's a great moment for the world. And I just wanted to add my extraordinary gratitude to the men and women who have, in uniform, who have made this moment possible. The fact that Vermont deployed more Vermonters than at any time since World War II. Watching them come home, many of them over the holidays, was one of the greatest moments of my job as governor. But I just got to say, it's a great day for America and a great day for our Vermont servicemen and women, and a great way to start this week. I just want to, before I introduce Melinda and Parker, I just want to say a few words about Green Up Day. As you know, Green Up Day is this Saturday, May 7th. Green Up Day is a tradition in Vermont that allows us to clean up for spring, maintain our natural resources. It's a long-standing commitment to Vermont's natural resources and environment, and it makes us all proud. We want you to join up. We want you to join us. I'll be picking up litter on Route 89 this Friday, but obviously the more participants that we can have in Green Up Day, the more people we have cleaning up our state, and the more people we involve in our universal commitment to being the most beautiful green state in the country. So Green Up Day is a long tradition, as we know. It was really established many, many years ago as sort of the beginning of what makes Vermont so special. So I want to introduce to you today, first Melinda Vieux, who is the president of Green Up Day, and then Parker Riehle, and on behalf of the Ski Area Association, Parker's the president, who have developed a contest that is exciting and gets people involved in Green Up Day activities. So thank you for your good work, Melinda, and I'll stand here.
Thank you very much, Governor. I want to thank you for your hospitality and your support of Green Up Day. It can take all the support it can get. Vermont has a lot of traditions to be proud of, and our environmental legacy of sharing the goal of keeping Vermont a clean, safe, beautiful, and welcoming place is certainly one of those traditions. As the governor noted, well, I don't know if you did note this, but we were...
If I didn't, I should have.
He was planning to note that Green Up Vermont is a nonprofit organization, not a state agency. It's sort of the best kept secret. Most of the public thinks that the state still does Green Up. But as of 1979, it became a nonprofit organization. So we must remember that the Green Up Day success depends upon the combined efforts of individuals and civic groups volunteering to make the whole effort possible, and the financial support given by both the private and the public sector throughout Vermont. This is truly a traditional grassroots effort. In addition to the individual Vermonters and local towns that help make this a success, I want to thank our corporate partners and friends and for their financial support, without which we really simply could not make this be a success. So I want to give special highlight to our top-level Stafford partners, who are Subaru of New England, VSECU, Green Mountain Coffee Roasters, and Cabot Creamery Cooperative. Like Governor Shumlin, I also encourage Vermonters to come out and join us Saturday for this year's Green Up Day. To learn more about what's happening in your community, you can check your local newspaper, visit greenupvermont.org, or call us at 800-975-3259. And I'd like to ask that each of the media outlets represented here today help spread the word by including in your stories a link to greenupvermont.org and on your also on your websites and your Facebook and Twitter accounts. And by the way, we're even twittering at Green Up Vermont. That's definitely something new for us.
Thank you, Melinda.
Great. Well, thank you, Governor. It's an honor to be here with you and with Melinda on this great event to celebrate Green Up Day and to really bring some awareness and some excitement to this event. I have a personal stake in this event, given my father, Ted Riehle, was appointed by then Governor Dean Davis to head up the organization of the very first Green Up Day in 1970, which he did with Bob Babcock, a reporter from the Free Press, who brought the idea to Governor Davis and liked the idea so much that he activated his whole staff to pull that first event together. And so we, with the ski industry, decided to have a little fun with it this year and try to maybe put a little more fun into some contests statewide, which actually emulate what's going on at the ski areas across the state, where they're having week-long or daily cleanup events this week leading up to Green Up Day with contests. One of the most popular, of course, is who can find the most unique piece of trash. So we have three categories, of course: the most unique piece of trash, best overall team spirit, and best overall Green Up Day story, which we'll be administering through Facebook, which is definitely the best way, best, quickest media outlet or social media way of communicating that contest and having folks submit their ideas and stories and photos to us. And with the help of our partners, many of whom we have in common with Green Up Vermont, we have Cabot Cheese, of course. They know how to put their cheese where their mouth is, not just their money. The cornerstone of each first place prize will be a Cabot gift bag full of all kinds of cheese that you could ever possibly hope for. In addition, we'll also include, of course, some Ben & Jerry's pint coupons, some swag from Long Trail Brewery, Green Mountain Coffee, Darn Tough Socks, and Rosignol, all of our main marketing partners who are pooling together to kind of try to gather and engender some excitement into this event. So we're just really pleased to be able to do this today with Governor Shumlin and with Melinda on this great event to kick off the Green Up Day festivities all week long, I guess. So thank you.
Thanks, Parker.
Thank you, Governor.
All of your good work. Be happy to answer any questions. Parker and Melinda will join me if you need us.
So, on Green Up Day, or are we switching topics?
We'll do whatever you say, boss.
All right. So the healthcare amendment having to do with illegal immigrants and whether Green Mountain Care cannot, if it eventually happens, cannot pay to cover illegal immigrants' healthcare. Do you support that amendment?
I think it's unnecessary. I think it's unnecessary because there are a lot of questions that need to be sorted out by the board as we move towards this extraordinary step in Vermont's healthcare delivery system. And my view is that that question, along with many, many others, should be worked out by the board, and the legislature can look at it again when the bill comes back in 2012 or 2013.
Are you going to push to have that taken out of the bill during conference committee?
You know, I think it's unnecessary, and I would prefer for it not to be included in the bill, but it's not a deal breaker either way. You know, my own view is that this is one of the many questions, frankly. This is easier than a lot of the other questions that they'll be tackling. And we have plenty of time to assemble a wonderful board and work together with the board to develop a system that's going to work.
Do you think the board should include a provision like that? Or?
I just don't know why we would start to include or preclude particular pieces when we know that the board has a lot of work to do on all kinds of questions.
Well, part of the rationale is that it might be easier to obtain a congressional waiver with this amendment. That was one of the arguments put forth in the Senate floor.
Oh.
Don't you agree?
No.
Do you think the state should pay to cover undocumented workers?
Well, I mean, you know, so many of these, what I call distraction issues, are already addressed in our current system. In other words, I ask you this question: what are we doing now? If an illegal immigrant shows up after working on a farm or somewhere else in Vermont for health care in Vermont, they get health care. So what's the issue here? We're serving them now. The question is how we pay for it. That's something the board has to look at. Right now, we all pay. No one in Vermont gets turned away. They just go to the most expensive part of the delivery process, which tends to be the emergency room. So, I think we're making a big deal out of something that we're doing right now, and it's something that the board has plenty of time to look at.
Back to Green Up, did the floods last week, make the problem worse? Is that debris going to be targeted as well this year, beyond just the tires over the embankment that we see every year?
Right now, we are working together with the federal government to try figure out how much damage has been done. I'm obviously very concerned about anyone in a lake or lake basin based on the forecast for later this week. So as soon as we have those numbers tallied, we'll come and tell you about it. I hope we'll have those soon, today or tomorrow. So let's sit tight, but obviously we're going to do everything we can to get the resources to clean up all aspects of the damage.
I mean, are you putting out a call to Vermonters more than most years in light of the...
Absolutely. I mean, this is the worst flooding that we've had in many, many years. We've broken records in terms of the level of the lake. And if you look at Saturday Green Up Day, we have more debris to clean up than at any time in recent memory. So we need help. And obviously, Green Up Day is generally designed for people who don't have the good judgment to put their garbage where it belongs. And we could abolish Green Up Day if we would all put our garbage where it belongs. It still puzzles me that we're sitting here, as Parker said, many, many years after Governor Dean Davis initiated the first Green Up Day, which Parker's dad helped head up, and we're still dealing with the symptoms instead of the problem. But this particular Green Up Day is critically important because so many areas of Vermont have not only been littered with pollution that was thrown out of people's windows when they're driving vehicles, but also brought to us by the extraordinary water that's feeding like a funnel into the lake basin.
What's your sense on the tax bill? Is there, I don't think they've met yet, but is that something that can be settled fairly quickly and to your liking?
I think so. I mean, I got to tell you, as a governor, we're going to put all hands on deck to work together with the legislature today and tomorrow to try to get all of the conference committees resolved and get them home Friday night. If we can get through this week with a little bit of luck, resolving the issues of what I call the most ambitious legislative agenda in my memory, and get them home a week early, saving Vermonters hundreds of thousands of dollars, I think in these tough fiscal times, Vermonters will be very grateful. Thank you. Go ahead.
One more.
I'm not going to do
The
that.
records bill may be going on the Senate floor today. My understanding is that bill was introduced by your administration initially, and it's changed a lot since from where it started. No longer includes a transparency office or anything like that. What do you think of this legislation as it stands? Is it going to be effective?
As you know, it's a fluid bill right now, and I'm not sure exactly what's going to come out of the Senate, so I'm going to be a little careful about commenting on a bill that isn't yet clear to all of us. I want to have transparent government. I pledged to that when I got elected, and nothing has changed my view. In fact, I've seen numerous experiences since I've been governor where I'm reminded how important transparency is and how we would only solve problems by having a transparent process. So I'm going to be pushing for a bill that's as transparent as we can get through this legislative body, and we'll see what comes to my desk.